Nelson Peltz has divested his Disney stock, all of it, making $1 billion in profit. And now those who are pro Bob Iger have lost it. They're all saying that Nelson Peltz has gone away, tail tucked between legs. They're saying that we will have to spin to win. Folks, we're here to tell you we're telling the truth, and we're not going to stop today. Get ready for how we let you know that Bob Iger, well, he's having a very bad day. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment. Keep you ahead of the culture curve. It's a joy to do so, and we are overjoyed that you have decided to join us today. Consider clicking the like button, and let's get this underway. Folks, this is out of Deadline by Dade Hayes, coming out yesterday. We are now getting to it. Of course, this came out last evening, and the Disney news has been running fast and furious, making perhaps more headlines than the latest Fast and Furious movie, this time with the Moana movie. But the Moana movie is not all that is happening, not even close to it. We've got Tiana's Bayou Adventure stuff happening, and we've got Nelson Peltz, and it's hard to even decide what is the biggest story of the day. But folks, here comes this analysis on your way, the likes of which you will find nowhere else. Mission accomplished. Despite losing proxy fight, billionaire Nelson Peltz reportedly sells entire Disney stake for $1 billion in profit, says the headline. Now, folks, if you make $1 billion in profit, you are not losing. Remember that. Here's the article. Nelson Peltz may have lost the battle with Disney, au contraire, but in strict financial terms, may have won the war. Well, in a world that's financial, strict or not, that means he won. The activist investor waged a months-long campaign against CEO Bob Iger and the media company's board of directors, ending in a decisive defeat at April's annual shareholder meeting. Folks, again, this is the way that the media wants to present it, but think about this. Nelson Peltz is $1 billion richer, at least his investment firm is, and Disney shareholders have watched their stocks go from $200 per share under Bob Chapek in 2021 to half of that in 2024. Who's winning here, folks? Who's losing? At the heart of the effort was a blistering critique of the company's then languishing share price, as Iger sought to deliver cost reductions and streaming profits while also trying to right a capsized movie ship and work through a host of other challenges. Folks, has any of that come to fruition? Are things better or worse? I posit to you they're worse. The stock sank to multi-year lows last year. It has since rallied, rising 11% in 2024 to date, better than the growth of the benchmark S&P 500. Oh, the spin we see here, folks. The stock is up 11% because it was way higher during the proxy battle. It's been dropping precipitously ever since. No financial advice here, of course, but you would be off course to write an article that doesn't say, hey, by the way, since Peltz got out, the stock is dropping. Folks, let me tell you, before you click off here, let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that Bob Iger is having a very bad day today is because when Nelson Peltz gets out, what does that mean? Think about that for a moment. Nelson Peltz is divesting everything he has, his entire investment firm, Trian, out of Disney. Why would he do that? You see, he has investors that he has to please. He's trying to make them money, right? So why would Nelson Peltz exit the Walt Disney Company? And remember, Nelson Peltz is where he is because he has a track record going through decades, right, of making money. He's kind of a Warren Buffett fellow, except he's an activist, not a pacifist or passive investor. Hope you get the joke. So why would Nelson Peltz get out? Well, this is not the first time that Peltz has done this. That's one thing, folks, that you won't read out there, that the people who don't understand this very well will not tell you. Peltz did this before, after the last proxy battle. He's doing it again. This is a redo of something we've seen before. And why did Peltz get out the time before? Well, because Peltz apparently believes that the Disney stock is going to drop. Else, why would he get out? Now, I can't read his mind. I don't have any special connection or back channel or communications with Nelson Peltz or Trian. But folks, if you've got investors who are trusting you to return the most profit possible, and he's got to put that $1 billion somewhere, why do you take the billion out of Disney? Or more? $3 billion. That's how much he has. Why would you take the $3 billion and $1 billion of profit in that and exit the Disney stock? Because you think it will drop. Otherwise, your investors surely must be mad if you pull out knowing that Disney is going to do well. But that's not what seems to be on the radar of one Nelson Peltz. So Bob Iger is having a very bad day because someone who has made a lot of money prognosticating correctly, right? Because if he was incorrect, he would have lost money. But prognosticating correctly is getting out. And that is a canary in the coal mine. Multiple media outlets citing an unidentified source familiar with the transaction reported that Peltz's firm, Trian Fund Management, unloaded its entire stake in Disney. Trian at one point controlled $3 billion in shares, including voting rights conferred by former Marvel chairman Ike Perlmutter, who teamed with Peltz in the proxy fight. CNBC, which had the first report of the share sale, said last October, Trian had upped its stake to some 30 million shares. A rep from Trian declined to comment, who was contacted by Deadline. Disney did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Well, now let's think about this. Let's go back, folks. Let's go back. October 8th, 2023, out of Variety by William Earl. We're in the time machine for a moment because you need to see how this plays. This is the headline here. Activist investor Nelson Peltz plans renewed push for board seats at Disney. This is again going back to before the proxy battle. And it says, an activist investor, Nelson Peltz, has amassed a $2.5 billion stake in Walt Disney Company and is preparing to make a second run at pressuring the company to grant him with board seats, the Wall Street Journal reported Sunday. Peltz's Trian Fund Management is responding to the steady slide in Disney shares, which are down about 16% for the year to date. In January, Trian unleashed a targeted campaign to criticize Disney's corporate management and recent underperformance of the stock. Peltz pushed to have himself added to the Disney board. Now, what's this article about? This article is about the fact that he's buying more stocks. And look down here at the bottom. When it talks about he was buying more stocks, representatives for Disney and Trian did not immediately respond to requests for comment late Sunday. Disney shares closed Friday at $82.94, which was up nearly 3% in January. They always do this. They always try to pretend that the stock is up. Look where it was, $82.94. In January, shares traded in the $110 to $113 range. So, folks, guess what? Nelson Peltz exited already once. Stock went down. He bought in. He waged another proxy battle. But he got out before the stock dropped. He gets back in when the stock drops. And that's really, really important. May I share something with you folks? Take a look at this. This is the current stock situation. Peltz is getting out currently at about the $100 to $102 amount. That's where he's getting out. He has watched the stock drop from $116 in May. If we go to the 6 month, you can see that the $116 mark is when the proxy battle ended, and then the precipitous drop. And he's getting out here, and he must believe, folks, that something is going to happen. He must. Otherwise, why would he get out? That's what the people out there don't necessarily want you to know, or they don't understand enough to tell you, is that Peltz has done this before. And Peltz can buy back in any time he feels so inclined. His company can, and he can come back with however much money he wants. So can Elon Musk if he would like to. But why in the world, folks? You know, we're reporting on stuff like Moana, and we're talking about the theme parks being soft in this coming quarter. Why, if you own an investment firm that has shareholders who they have entrusted you with their money, their hard-earned money, their retirements, their investments, why would they want you to stick around if you believe the stock is going to drop? Now, I cannot tell you what the stock is going to do, and I ask you, I implore you, no financial advice should ever be taken from this channel or from this video. But if Nelson Peltz believes the stock is going to drop, then he would be shirking his fiduciary responsibility to keep his investment firm in this company. He would be shirking his responsibility if he were to stay with this simply so he can wage another proxy battle. Why? Why would he not get out? It's like a water park, folks. Think about it this way. It's like when you go to the water park and you see the storm on the horizon. if you'll stick with it after the storm passes by, guess what? The crowds will all leave. The slides will have no lines. The wave pool will be yours. You will be king or queen of the tropical paradise. Nelson Peltz sees a storm headed for the water park. And I can't tell you for sure if he will come back, if he will return, if he's getting into another proxy battle. I can't tell you if he's interested in a hostile takeover. I can only tell you we've seen this before. And when we go look at that article where it talks about, again, from Variety, back in October of 2023, why was Nelson Peltz buying stocks? Because he sold stocks before the drop, and then he got back in. Folks, if he wants back in, he's going to find an empty wave pool if that stock drops. And he may be looking at this saying, this is my chance. This is where we're going to get out. The future is up to Bob Iger. Unfortunately for Bob Iger, much of the roadmap ahead is already mapped out. Mufasa? Trouble. Moana? Unclear. Deadpool and Wolverine? Maybe. But Inside Out 2, looking shady. And the Disney parks? Soft quarter ahead, that's what they said. So where are they going to get the money? Where are they going to get the boost? Will the Disney Plus streaming numbers show something that draws investors to be excited? Questionable. So folks, those of you out there who are pixie dusters who celebrate Disney regardless of their returns or regardless of their successes, perhaps consider that if Nelson Peltz is out, maybe it means that there should be doubt as to where this thing is going. Because ultimately, Nelson Peltz's job is to make money. And that should be Bob Iger's. We'll see how that goes. Folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this. Have you been dismayed, perhaps dissuaded by the media out there covering this as if it's a Nelson Peltz defeat? It's the craziest thing in the world to see somebody make $1 billion in profit by prognosticating correctly about a company, and then he exits, and everybody's like, ooh, look, he loses. Yeah, sure he does. Sure he does. You know, when the professional surfer gets out of the ocean, maybe you should look for fins. Just saying that. But, folks, weigh in. Let us know your thoughts on it. We would love to hear what you have to say. Don't forget, folks, we have so many big things on the horizon, including a huge announcement coming up in the month of June. It's time for this channel to get involved in creating, not just critiquing. You've asked for it. Wait no more. We're on the way with an announcement very, very soon. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Clickbait. Fraud. Drama queen. Ugh. I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed, so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh my.
Wow.